Hey there everybody, it's Atherbeerstan back here with episode 4 of Forestry Playthrough on the Infinity server. We need to get right into it. As always, we've got tons to do. So when we left off, we had just stabilized our common bee. Now that bee we threw in here and it promptly died. But as you can see, we got a stack and 53 common drones, and that will hopefully enable us to get to our next crosses. Now, next thing we need to do is get to this cultivated bee. We're going to try two different approaches to that. Here's the first one. We're going to use this bee, which is a pristine. I'm out of ignoble bees, but that's fine. It's not really a big deal. We're going to use this pristine bee, and this is a cultivated common. Now, the way that works is we got a chance at crossing the meadows and the common, or the meadows and the cultivated. See how that works? So it can cross with both of those halves of this second drone here. If it crosses with the cultivated, it doesn't make anything. There's no mutation there. So if it crosses with the common, then it could potentially get us a cultivated mutation, which would match up with the first half of this bee and potentially get us a purebred bee. So we're going to try that. And then we're going to take our common bees, and we need, what, 2 more princesses? Oops, swing and a miss. You and not you. That'll do. We have found a base. My wife, Luckiest K, has joined the server, and we have found ourselves a base. Drop those guys in there, and it is in a tropical rainforest biome. Hostile environment means this bee, see, it says it likes hot and arid, and this is not arid. It says down to, so it'll tolerate up to down to a normal temperature, but arid has no tolerance. And we haven't talked about those traits much at all, but we're going to, because that's exactly what I was getting to when I was talking about moving to the tropical rainforest biome, is that we're going to have to breed bees that will function within the wetlands, and it's probably a little warm there. It's probably warm and wet. So we're going to have to figure out how to do that. I got a bunch of junk in my inventory. Just go in and throw this away real quick. Can't abide a cluttered inventory when we're doing bees. It just doesn't really work. And then let's put away some of our tools. And we should be good. Less cluttered. Peat. Yeah. Okay, so second thing on the list. We got our bees going. I was able to get this farm working. One of the things that I read as I was trying to do so is that sometimes placing it too close to a village can cause problems. So I moved it from the hill out over to here, and as you can see, it's making peat. It's harvesting some trees. As you can also see, the pattern has changed. It does not have these narrow strips that we were expecting to see on the north and south. Instead, it's now divided into 4 quarters, which I frankly I'm not a fan of. I liked the narrow strips. But anyway, there's the auto farm. It is working. Right now, it's just got this Stirling generator powering it, and it's clogged with stuff. It's working quite fast. Sand is a byproduct of the trees growing. So that's working. We'll get that automated. I'm going to use Steve's Factory Manager to do my automation in this build. So they would look for a separate tutorial series coming out. We're going to do Steve's Factory Manager to automate forestry, and then after forestry we're going to get into applied energistics, and we're going to use Steve's Factory Manager to automate that mod as well, and that's going to be a whole lot of fun. Steve's Factory Manager is a little bit complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it's amazing. Let's drop this wood here real quick, and then we'll move on to some other things. Now, one thing that we want to do, this is a handy little shortcut. Oh, that's not it. I think it's just 3 maybe. Capsule. Wax capsule. Oh, okay, it's just like so. And we're going to then come over to our squeezer and put a stack in there. People have been doing a fantastic job of replanting as they've been taking from the wheat on the server on this little farm here, so that's been super handy because now we have all these seeds. There we go. We'll get those squeezed up and it'll automatically put them in capsules for us. And we're going to need that because we're going to make more, change that recipe. There we go. We're going to make more apiaries today, which means we need the impregnated casing, I think. I believe it's like this. Yeah, impregnated casing. So we're going to make a few of those. That'll be 4 of them. Next time we run over for wood, we'll just throw it in there. And then we need some spectacles and our grafters. If with any luck, we can get our walnuts today. Now the thing about the walnut trees, in order to progress past the walnut trees, is that the walnut tree is a 2x2. And so that means that in order to breed it, we're going to need 4 saplings. Okay, so now here's the thing. Remember I was talking about the cherry tree and the difference between the cherry tree and the other trees. Now, if you look at this, there's a cherry in that leaf block, and in that leaf block, and in that leaf block. So that's an important genetic trait if you think about it. Like if you're wanting to get apples out of a tree in quantity, having this particular trait, or any fruit, any type of fruit that you might want to get out of a tree. Hang on, just give me 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I had a distraction. Yeah, these cherry trees are super good because, like I said, they get you an excess of fruit, and we're gonna want that, and we'll get into why. Why we're gonna want that, and we're not necessarily needing to get it from the cherry tree. Oh, there was our sapling, common walnut. But like I said, we need 4 of them. Orchard apple, that's a good one too. That's an apple tree that has this same kind of cherry tree trait, but we don't. It's not the one we want though. We'll get there. I'll show you. Step by step, poco a poco, as they say in Spanish, little by little. That's a very common phrase in Mexico. So let's see. We need to get more of these guys. Get that? Okay, let's go make. Oh, we got one. Well, let's go make a couple grafters. We're just about out. And we're gonna have to grab our trealizer. Oh, there's all the potatoes I was looking for. I was like, I know I had a few stacks of potatoes around. Don't know where they are. They're in my pouch. Okay. Grafters. Bronze. I'm gonna make 2 more, ought to be enough. Yeah. It's dark. think there's anybody but us on the server, so let's go sleep. Or maybe just one other person. I think Blue Sagny's on. But it only takes one of us. That should work. Okay. Lovely. Now we cannot get killed while we're out doing our gardening. Just pop on over here and pillar up, I think. Probably be the thing to do. Yeah, right here. Nope. Really need just the walnut tree. I have a shovel on me now. Put it away. Let's see what we can get here. Cherry tree, nothing special. Now I just made a mistake there and broke a block with this grafter. It guarantees you a sapling from any leaf block, but it doesn't guarantee that it's a mutation. The mutations will only come from these gray blocks, so that was a waste of a grafter use, and they only hit 5 times. 5 or 6, I think it's 5. I don't see any more. This crap down real quick, and we'll take a look. I don't expect to see anything interesting, frankly, in this batch. In fact, really, there's not much worth looking at. It's really just this. What do we get? A wild cherry sapling? Some of these are new. Like, I have only experimented with this on one other previous build, and I don't even think I've done anything. So let's treelize some of those real quick. Hello. Don't know. We've been on the server together for several hours, so I don't know why suddenly the apple orchard. Let's see now. This is a great trait. Matures faster and yield higher. Those are both very good traits. We don't care for the small trait so much, but supports palms, prunes, and citrus. Oh my, what just happened there? Hello. I just got grown inside of a tree. Troll, yeah. Okay, great, thanks, guy. Okay, well, we'll make the best of that, I guess. More torches are going to be necessary. Let's go over here in the light and continue to treelize. Did we lose our tree? Dang it. No. Lost my sapling because of that. Dang it. Where were we? Were we over here? Yes. No, it's not over here. Well, it ate our sapling. Well, crap on that. Wild cherry. At least it wasn't this one. But fast is good. See, that other tree was really good. That's the bummer of that. Fruits wild cherry. Forestry.wild cherry. So it's different probably than the cherry that we're using. Let's see what it... No, it's just regular cherry. So that's two different... I think the... I think these trees... Well, we'll plant one. Let's just plant one and see what it does, because I'm not entirely sure. common walnut. See, we've got a girth of 2x2. Height and maturity's average. That's good stuff. Supports nuts, prunes, palms, citrus. Currently is walnuts in the nut family. So we're starting to get into some of these other tree traits, and we'll get into that with the bees as well. The rest of this stuff, maybe we'll check out the lemon sapling. Average, smallest, nothing good going on there particularly. The rest of this is just going to be junk, basically, more of the same, everything we've seen before. So we're going to let the bees do their work here. We've got to get some more saplings. Let's turn them over. You can't, unfortunately, you can't automate these bee houses. And we could put apiaries over here and automate them real quick. Jeez, look at all that. It's amazing he didn't crash the server just there. It's okay, I don't really care, because this is, I'm leaving. No longer my base. My base is going to be elsewhere soon. It is a trifle annoying, though, I must say. Okay, let's check on our bees. They're done. That did not work out in our favor. It doesn't look like, oh, we got to drop these saplings off somewhere. Unfortunately, this is what I got. Going to be a very cluttery chest soon. Alright, let's grab our beetleizer. See what we got. That doesn't work if I remember right. Okay, and we're done with these guys for now. Hey, there we go. A little bit of the cultivated action going on there. And if you guys are in a hurry, obviously the solution is more apiaries, which we're working on. We want to be able to do like a dozen crosses at a time. So common meadows cultivated. Pretty much the same stuff, cultivated meadows. Cultivated common. That's pretty good. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go common meadows with a meadows common. That's got a roughly the same chance of giving us cultivated as if we had crossed a common and a cultivated. Oh. Are you kidding me? No sun. Okay, common meadows. Okay, well, let's just use this. Meadows cultivated. It should be okay. Oh, whoops. No. Cultivated meadows. Okay, I'm going to deal with this tree. I'll be back. This is how we take care of giant rubber trees, incidentally, in case you were wondering. Okay, we're run through that life cycle. Let's real quick and do this. Looks like we've gone to all meadows bees. There's a cultivated queen. That's pretty good. Let's see what that's about first. Cultivated common. Cultivated common. That's interesting. Meadows, and a meadows. Oh, we're out of honey drops. Fortunately, I've been keeping busy, keeping up on all that good stuff. Okay. Common cultivated, that's good. I think we'll end up crossing these two, which could end us up with another diligent, which this wouldn't be horrible stuff either. Common cultivated. Meadows cultivated. I think that actually would be a better cross. Meadows. Okay, so do this and then we'll go rest. So a meadows with a common. Meadows cultivated. That guy. And then what was our last one? Meadows princess. Okay. So you can see in each case we're just trying to take our best chance at the mutation that we want, and sometimes it's great and sometimes it's not, and mostly it's all luck. I'll be back. I'm going to go sleep and probably work on some of this wood while these bees breed. See you in a bit. Alrighty, one more time through the wash here. Not really seem to be getting anywhere with this strain, but this is looking promising. And wow. All the way back to commons, or meadows bees. Okay, well, let's have a look. Cultivated common. Cultivated. I don't really need to see more than that. I guess let's, just for good measure. Common cultivated. Common meadows. Meadows cultivated. Okay, let's do those two and those two. Meadows common. And that guy. That. And like that.
I can't keep up with it.
Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so while we're waiting on bees, if you remember, we were talking about frames, which we only have enough to do one. Oh, I didn't save that. That was the whole reason that I was using this project bench. So then what we want to do is we want soul frames, which it's just one. Okay, great. Soul frames encourage mutation, and that's what we're wanting. We're wanting to encourage mutation. Let's get some apiaries built. We're going to need those real soon. Why only one? Oh, are we out of power? Sure are. Alright, let's go see how our farm's doing. Grab some wood for our carpenter so we can make more apiaries. We're going to need another carpenter because we need to make these impregnated sticks pretty much at the same time. There's a good amount of peat. Grab some wood. We're good on power. So that seems to be going pretty well. I think that would sustain itself. We're running quite a bit more machinery over here than we have a right to off of 3 peat engines, but I bet these engines would run that farm just fine. Let's do something like that. I don't know. Get some more power up in here. Drain it all out, charging the jetpack. Okay, what are we doing now? Carpenter. Yeah, we should be getting this now. No power. What are we gonna do? Yeah, there it goes. Okay, very good, very good, very good. What else do we need? We need some slabs and some planks, right? I think is all we need. I mean, we need a comb. Nope, that's just it. Just wood and that thing. Okay. the wood. We got this thing. Let's throw some more wood in here. We're gonna need maybe 20 of these things total. I don't know, maybe something like that before we start getting into alvearies and possibly into some gendistry. You know, forestry has a whole series of machines that do genetic. I cannot type. Forestry. Where are you? Where are they? Maybe they're not in forestry anymore. Oh, here we go. No, I'm not seeing them. I'm not seeing them. So, arborist chest. We're gonna need that. That's not too bad. 5 saplings, some glass. Pretty cool. I don't see those machines. Let's see. Genetics, I think maybe. Okay, so yeah, they got moved over into this genetics. Yeah. Gene pool. So I don't know. I guess that gives us an out. Actually, we don't have to follow that chain. We can choose gendistry or genetics. I'll do a little bit more poking around with the genetics mod and see what that's all about. What's going on here? That thing's taking forever. Okay, well, let's go check. No, let's go sleep. Bees aren't going to do anything at night yet. We'll get there. It's a long road. Bees is a very long game. You can easily outstrip bees with any of the other mods, but I don't think any of the other mods is generally fun and useful just all around. I don't think any of the other mods has the range. Oh, we're still waiting on these guys. Let's throw this frame in here. Okay, well, I'll check in a minute here. Alrighty, here we are again. Oops, I left a little hole in my inventory. I hate that. Try to consolidate so our newbies don't get mixed up with our inventory. Now we're getting places. Can I have some stone? Take all you need. Got 2 barrels of it. When you mine with Silk Touch, that's just how it go. Alright, I think maybe we got this now. Cultivated meadows, no. Okay. Cultivated, very good. Cultivated common. Common diligent, really hope to get diligent on a common princess. Well, that's good. We're just going to keep her. We're going to need that. Purebred meadows. Meadows common. Weird stuff. I think that's our ticket right there. Except we don't want this in here now. Okay, let's do that. A common diligent. It's not really good for anything, but it might get us something diligent if we do that, maybe. And a straight common princess, we'll just tuck her away. Okay, we got our 4 impregnated casings. There actually might be more in here. One more? We'll do 5, that's good. Some planks. Some slabs. That's enough for 4. get rid of those. Let's make ourselves a couple of chests here. And then we'll do 1, 2, like so. And we need to go get some saplings. If you didn't realize, you can of course eat these cherries. They don't give you much, but maybe we can get them out of our inventory. The point of this is an apiarist chest, and you'll see in just a minute when I put it down. Now you can't dolly these, I don't believe, so you have to choose your locations somewhat wisely. Let's put this right here. As you can see, it's got 25 slots and 5 pages. So, and it keeps track of different species. It gives you information about them, and it keeps track of how many species you've bred. Out of 281 species, we've acquired 8. So if anybody's keeping track on the Pokemon chart of achievement, there we are. And I made 2 of those, didn't I? I thought I made 2 of those. Where did it go? Did I not pull 2 of them out? Okay, because I only put in 1 piece of glass, because we're going to use this one to make something else. Now let's go grab us some saplings. These are basically garbage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we can do the same thing. Make an arborist chest. I believe these have to be forestry saplings. I don't think you could use witchery or biomes of plenty or even a vanilla Minecraft sapling here. I'm pretty sure that that has to be forestry. Any forestry sapling. Not 100% on that, but it would seem like a pretty safe bet. So let's put you right here where we're doing our trees at. Get a couple of these bees out of the way. I'll work on that over time. That doesn't all have to happen right away. How are we doing here? Working on it, working on it. Oops, wrong place. Old habits. There we go. And then we're going to need another carpenter. At least 1, I think probably 2 more. Let's see if we've got any sturdy casings made. No. So let's make 1, 2 more of those. Carpenter. Yeah, so we need 1 more glass. Maybe in here. I think that'll work. No, apparently it won't. There we go. Perfect. Just what we needed. Alright, and that'll give us enough so that we can do the impregnated sticks at the same time. And then we'll need the other one, I'm sure. Nighttime. Nighttime and bees, no good. We would breed in. See, the trouble is we have the rocky bees. That's the next. That's the species that has the nocturnal and the cave dwelling and all the real good 24-hour production stuff. But the downfall of those bees is they only have a fertility of 1, so there's not really a way to produce extra drones. So you're stuck with just only ever having the 1, which is a good thing in a production bee, but it's really bad in like a breeding situation. Alright, let's grab one of them are. Now those capsules go away. They're not reusable. The only downside of them. Like so. Go for it. But otherwise, there's basically nothing to do with all of this wax. So no big loss. Magic wax. It comes from the mundane combs. And I don't even know what we use that for. I think we can make a magic frame. Interesting. And essence of everlasting durability. Oh, empty magic capsule. I think these hold more. Maybe double. I'm not sure. Otherwise, I don't know what the point would be. Let's see. Let's look up capsule. It doesn't say. Void capsule. Interesting. Alright, I'll be back when those bees are done. Alrighty. Those guys are done. These guys are not. Okay, so that brings us to an interesting point. It's one of the traits of the bees that we haven't discussed is the lifespan. So sometimes bees live a long time and sometimes they die real quick. Now when you're doing this kind of stuff, a short lifespan is great because you just want them to die and run through as many generations as quickly as possible. But when you start trying to do produce, then you want to try to get a larger lifespan, a longer lifespan. Meadows cultivated. Cultivated meadows. Well, that's like a 50-50 shot that we're going to lose the strain or get a straight cultivated bee, so let's gamble. You guys done yet? Yep. Just in time. Unweary. Really? Diligent. So unweary, it goes in that order. Diligent and then unweary and then industrious. But this doesn't really, even though we've got this trait now, it doesn't really help us to get anything. We could cross this back in. No, even that's not going to that doesn't get anything with a common bee. You gotta cross this with a cultivated. And that could potentially get us somewhere. I also put a common bee or a forest bee in here with some common drones because we're going to need our next big cross is going to be common and cultivated, and that's going to get us, well, we don't need diligent anymore, although we could definitely use a diligent drone. That would be good. And then that same cross, common and cultivated, also is going to get us noble. So we want to be able to hit that cross like 4 or 5 times at least at once just to make a run at it. You know, that's a pretty good shot at getting our mutations. So what did we have here? I don't know actually what to do with these guys. The common drone is pretty good because we can cross it with a cultivated. This doesn't do us much good at all. We could just cross that with a random. This doesn't do us any good. Oh nope, we don't want you in there. We could cross that with a random princess. That could potentially get us to cultivated. And so we still seem to be stuck on that. So let's throw these 2 in here, and then I'm going to go sleep, and I'll be right back with the results of this generation. Alright, here's our last chance before we end this episode. Doesn't look good. Does not look good. Nope. I think we made backwards progress on that generation. Pretty sure. Meadows cultivated. That's junk. Cultivated meadows. That's interesting stuff. Well, we'll definitely rebreed that. And then meadows cultivated, I think that's our best bee. Oops, wrong. try that. We're not going to wait around for the results of that. We're going to go craft something, and then we're going to end this episode. Oh, I don't have any more string. Need this guy. Nope, not yet. Oh, probably only needed 2 of those now that I think of it. Let's see. Yep, and some sticks. No wood. Take one of you guys. Wrong pocket. Apiarist backpack. It works the same way as the chest and the various other backpacks combined, so it's pretty useful. You noticed there we had 9 species of 291 or 81 species. We've gotten a new one. Alright guys, that's me. That's this episode. I had hoped to have some cultivated bees to show for it, but we may make up for it in the next episode by immediately having ourselves some diligent bees, so we'll be looking forward to that. Make sure you leave a like down there before you mosey off, and you guys have a wonderful day.